Hey, what is up everyone? It's Rich. Alright, welcome to a video. This is gonna be like a combo video. We're gonna do a quick unboxing of this IDW Bill Sienkiewicz Mutants and Moon Knights and Assassins. And I could give some updates for the channel and sort of hit a few things. But yeah, so I was shopping for this right before Comic-Con, and there was someone selling it on eBay for a pretty decent price. I want to say it was like 130 to 160, somewhere in that range. And I don't know. I was just like, I really wanted to get it. I'm a big Bill Sienkiewicz fan. The allure for me, funny enough, and this will sound weird, I'll have to fully explain it, is I actually was mostly curious about the black and white art in this. And the reason being, it's actually not because I'm an inker, because generally speaking, I would probably be less interested in that, as weird as that might seem. And the painted work would be kind of more the allure. But nowadays, generally speaking, I think like hand painted work prints pretty good, and I've seen enough like kind of huge scans of Bill's work off the original paintings that I kind of knew what it looked like already. But the sort of crazy things that he does with black and white pages back in the day, I thought would be really, really interesting. I want to see how cut up the pages were and weird things like that. But yeah, like even like the Hendrix book, which was released a long time ago in the Moby Dick book that he did. If you really look at those pages, you can kind of tell what's going on. But anyway, so I didn't even realize that there was two covers for this. So this is a signed version. So it comes with this cover, which I'm actually happy about. I do like this cover better than the other one. But the only reason I actually got this copy was because it was literally the last copy that IDW had, and it is signed by Bill. But yeah, it's a nice cover. And then let me flip it over. I snapped a couple of photos of this the other day, but I really actually haven't looked at the book. I was on a tight deadline after Comic-Con, and just didn't have time. This is really beautiful. This has got like a real kind of Bob Peak sort of look to it, and that's Peak. You can Google him. Also Bernie Fuchs, which is Fuchs. You'll see those two artists are actually pretty influential on Bill's work, and others too, but those guys in particular are definitely sort of where he gets some of his kind of crazy avant-garde painting techniques. All right, so I'm going to pause this for 1 second, then situate. Give me 1 sec. Okay. Yeah, if I sound a little like kind of congested or whatever, it's like right after Comic-Con, I had kind of willed myself to be ready to work. So I went into Comic-Con just crushing deadlines, had so much work going into the show. I don't even know, 40 or 50 pages in a really short amount of time. It was pretty nuts. And then I knew I was going to have energy to get through Comic-Con and then finish the deadline after the show. So, yeah, my body basically, like, over the last 2 days is, like, falling apart, and I've caught a cold. Like, I got a runny nose and all that. But, so this is his signature. It's, like, super loose. Like, he's going for, like, a Gustav Klimt. Like, it's just, like, a symbol. But yeah, so this is the kind of stuff that I was kind of curious about is this black and white art. That's not a great shot of it. This is great. But yeah, and again, I'm not doing a full open that book on this. We're just going to look at a little bit of this, and I'm going to try to keep this video somewhat short. I've got a lot of stuff to do today. Some really fun announcements. I've been announcing stuff kind of through Patreon, so I'll have a link to Patreon, and again, there's probably close to 130 videos that are unlisted for Patreon only, and I generally will sort of leak news there first, but I got a lot of job offers at Comic-Con. I'm not even going to exaggerate. I mean, penciling, cover gigs, it really exploded this year for me, so I've got a lot of stuff going on. I have to do an album cover first for a band. They have been kind of pending for a few months, and they did a down payment. So that'll be a new black drawing, but that's probably the first like piece of work that you'll see from me that I'll pencil and ink. And then I've got Blaster Kid and a few other things going on. So it's good. So what I noticed was some of this work, and it's a little tricky to maybe tell on this, is I think that sometimes he works on vellum. The line quality to me does not look like lines going down on paper. And it's not to say that it's all inked on vellum, but lines just don't go down on paper as accurately and is like sort of consistently as some of the line work that I see in this stuff. I mean, it could be really, really great paper that's got like some kind of crazy like film on it, meaning like a plate finish. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's just it would be hard to tell. I'll have to compare stuff that I have here over the years. Paper has varied. I mean, we've talked about paper quite a bit on the YouTube channel, but I mean, just legally, they can't make paper that creates as much chemical waste as they used to. So there's environmental issues and rules and regulations that are in place. So there's like a zipatone. Really, I can't be able to. Sorry, the sunlight's super bright in my office. I don't know if shedding this will help. Maybe it does. But yeah, so the way that they were able to make paper back in the day compared to now is just not the same. It's fun to see where he uses whiteout and what was done on the original passes too. Like I find that interesting because a lot of times, like I'm kind of anti using whiteout like for effects. I prefer to do it all in like reverse negative, meaning that like I've planned so well that I don't need white. I'm such a prick. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like I don't know. I have like rules that I kind of create for myself, or I don't even know if they're rules, but just like standards, and that's kind of one of them. Is like, don't use white. It's a bitch move. No. um. Hey. Oh, the cats are fighting. Woo! YouTube is back. We got it. You know what it was? Is they could tell I was getting fired up. That's what does it. Is they can tell that my passion starts to come through. And he's great with like razor blades. That was another thing too that like I was kind of curious of like what's razor blade on his pages, and that's a tricky technique. I mean, you definitely need to experiment with that, because like a sharp razor blade or like X-Acto blade over a board won't always tear up ink and create like line work. This is another one. Like I said, I don't know if through the camera it will read like it, but like his face in particular, like the lines went down so accurately. I just don't see any deviation in the line like it's on paper. I see paper texture underneath it, but the lines don't seem to be affected by it. It's a subtle thing, but I don't know. It was actually leaving Comic-Con. I mean, I actually looked at more original art this year than I ever have, and I've got probably another 2.5 hours worth of footage that I recorded there. I have already uploaded like a 25-minute video for Patreon of original art that I was checking out. But that's a really, really good way to like take advantage of a Comic-Con and learn during the day, is to go through the portfolios of the art dealers' booths and really kind of pour over what they do. And if they're cool, maybe they'll let you videotape. Quan was where I was videotaping the portfolios. I don't think, honestly, that Albert Moy would mind, at least for me. But Albert Moy was the booth that had the Travis covers and the big wall of like Jim Lee art and stuff like that. I mean, he has a lot of different stuff. Every year it varies, but I didn't go through portfolios and stacks of art at Albert's booth. It was kind of an early morning like thing. This is cool. But yeah, Comic-Con was really, really good. It was interesting because in terms of sales, I would have done better if I would have just brought my own work. I mean, for sure. Like, there wasn't a lot of people looking for the art that I had been inking lately, but I also don't promote it that heavily. Like, I mean, you definitely want to sort of like, I mean, your market is art collectors, so it's like you really, really need to be present and on places that they would haunt online, whatever that is, Facebook groups, comic art fans, there's like an auction place, they have a forum, stuff like that. But and Instagram doesn't hurt, because our art collectors do definitely follow artists to sort of get a beat on what they're producing. But yeah, in terms of like job opportunities and stuff like that, this was probably one of my best shows. So that was cool. I can pretty much talk about most of them, but my friend that works for Iron Maiden, Lexi, and we did the Megadeth story together. Um, we're going to be doing a brand new comic idea for Heavy Metal magazine, and it's going to first appear in Heavy Metal 300, which comes out I think February or March of next year. So it's a little ways off, but we're going to be working on that, and it'll be probably a 10 or 12 page story in that magazine, but we're going to actually do way more pages than that. So while I'm working on Blaster Kid, I'll be working on that. Also, had a pretty good contact at IDW to maybe pencil and ink a book for them, which again, I need day work while I'm doing other stuff. So, yeah, it'll be cool. I'm not 100% sure I can talk about what I'm inking right now, but I've got two things I'm inking. I'm inking Ryan Benjamin on Batman, and then I've got another thing. And then there was a cover opportunity for Marvel to do variant covers for Marvel, which is really, really cool. So that's like like that and the album cover are the first two things on deck is in terms of me doing samples to try to get work. Because man, if I could get a variant cover sort of steady stream going through Marvel, that would be so kick-ass. Because I actually love their characters. There's way more characters at Marvel that I would like to draw, just because I think as a kid I probably bonded with those characters a little bit more. DC seemed more adult to me, like even though they have Batman and stuff like that, it was like there was this kind of, you had like the Batman animated series, or you had the actual comics, and they didn't really seem very similar. So okay, so let's go to a little bit of the color stuff. Like I said, I don't want to go through all this. Oh, Moon Knight, nice. You can see the Neil Adams influence in this stuff a bit more. Oh, this is cool. Wow. Some of the paintings are a little dark in here. That is one thing that I noticed, that they feel like the color plates are a little dark, a little soft too. Like it's not like it. Yeah, it's hard to explain. This is nice. All right, we're actually at 12 minutes. Right? I'm gonna do like 3 more minutes. This is really badass. I mean, you do get to see a bit more of this, but you can see like there's tape in the panel borders. You see that? Like he has strips of tape he puts in between the panels. It's pretty wild. Let me see. You can see that, and probably goes this way too. It looks like it actually was maybe cut with an X-Acto knife there. Same deal here. There's like Scotch tape, or like a tape that runs through the middle of these. Bill's a wild man. There's no two ways about it. He really just does a lot of different techniques. These are great. I love this page, actually. There's a sequence in the book with a few of these pages of the exterior of this building. They're really cool. At times, it does look to me like he maybe painted over a photo, though. Like, I can see kind of the photo in the drawings, but who knows? If you've ever seen Big Numbers, that would be something interesting to check out by Sienkiewicz if you haven't seen it. Oh, this is really cool. Oh, yeah. It was funny. I looked at this book not too long ago. Or it might have been for like a Super Fun Sunday. That's funny. This is cool. All right, so let's go further. Oh man, dude, that is sick. But yeah, this book was like, there's enough that you can get from this book that it's worth it. $200 is expensive for a book, I'm not gonna lie. But what do I always say about these books? If you do one piece and it's better because of this, then you got your money's worth out of it. You could sell that piece for $1 million. No. But you never know. Not $1 million. 50K. Some people were kind of shocked at the prices of art. Not all art sells for that much, to be clear. There are many interior pages that you can't give away. And then, people tend to gravitate towards the covers and splashes. And then, if you have a name brand, the value of them goes up and up and up. And I mean, look, $3,000, $5,000 for covers is not unusual, and there are definitely people that go quite a bit above that for new covers. It's pretty crazy. Very, very Bernie Fuchs right there, or Bob Peak. I'm trying to remember who. I think Fuchs does the golf paintings. It's been a while since I've looked at his work. This is a really great page. Okay, so we're at 15 minutes. All right, one to find. This is really cool. I love the colors here. I got shit to do. This is cool. Oh man, that's nice too. Well, hopefully this is fun. Hopefully everyone's having a good week, and things will settle down for me in another week or two, and then I'll be probably doing like some more regular content. But just give me a chance to sort of get everything lined up. I had just finished my deadline last night, and then now I need to just get on point and get on a schedule. I have, like, some loose ends that I needed to tie up. I'm going to pull up one of the Kingpin pages. Man, there's so much nice stuff in here. So I'm trying to find something in particular. I always found Kingpin's shirt really interesting. Wait, is this it? Oh yeah, this. So he must have used some sort of wallpaper or some sort of like pattern, but it's neat. But he like pastes it down, but it really is beautiful. Like, it's just a really, really great effect, and it just looks so badass. I mean, it's possible that he made it on his own. I kind of doubt it, but yeah, he probably just collected some sort of interesting pattern, but looks cool. And makes for a very, very nice original. Dude is bad to the bone. And again, you can see the tape on the page. I'm amazed the tape is still sticking down. Whatever brand of artist tape that was good. So, all right, y'all have a great day. I'm going to leave you with this really epic, beautiful, beautiful painted panel from this comic book. That is a great panel. Isn't that nice? All right. We should all aspire to draw panels this nice. Okay, I'll talk to you later, dreamers and artists. Bye. Oh, and by the way, thank you for all the nice notes. I've had a lot of people noting me that say that the channel is really inspiring to them. So that's cool. I appreciate it. It's what it's about. It's not about me. It's about you. I don't give a shit about me. I'll be fine. I worry about you. All right, later.